Greetings, I am Lies and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal, and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together!
Yeah!
He's laughing. Happiness blooms in my chest as we are swept away to celebrate. While the feast is prepared, Asra and I are invited by an artist to select one of the clay animals he likes. Wait. By an artist to select one of the clay animals
The artist likes?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Who's he?
Whomst?
Whomst is
I mean,
he?
if we're just magically picking up pronouns here, which is hilarious still to me, but...
By an artist to select one of the clay animals he likes. Because, yeah, Asra and I are a group and we're not he, so it must be the artist?
I guess?
Maybe he only makes animals he likes, and so you select any of them and it's an animal he likes, but that seems weird to specify.
Yeah, that really does.
Okay. I'm surprised how long we spend trying to choose. More surprised when he doesn't choose the snake. When Asra, why say he? We've called him Asra the entire fucking time. And also,
I mean, we've said he.
But also, no, if we are trying to choose together, then is he choosing the snake? Or are we each invited to separately choose our own little animal?
I don't know.
I don't either.
That sentence is also very confusing because they go artist and then they immediately say he. And the problem is in this situation is we don't know what the pronouns of the artist are, and all we've ever seen for Asra is he.
Additionally, it says Asra and I, so two people can't be referred to as he.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no ability to refer to just he in that previous sentence as Asra.
Mm-hmm.
Only the artist is a singular.
Yeah.
Unless you're referring to a group of two people as he.
Okay.
Anyway, when he doesn't choose the snake.
I didn't look like Faust. I wonder how she's doing at the ballet. Besides, I identify with this one.
It's a fox? Yeah. Wood? Did we say wood carver? Did we just say carver? Artist. We said artist.
We said artist.
Artist. Thank you. It's an indigo fox that looks like him in the expression. I couldn't find one that I identified with. You don't have to find one you identify with. The artist offered to get one that Asra likes. Apparently for each of you to get one that Asra likes.
Yeah, which I would say that was a really awkward sentence.
If that's what the sentence means, of you two can pick out one that he likes, or one each that he likes.
Right.
Yeah, that threw me off really bad. You don't have to identify it with it to like it. Wizards! The food is hot in this hot desert. Come, pile your platter high.
Do it!
We spent so long picking out animals, and I didn't pick one out at all, that the entire feast is ready. We spent like 6 hours here at the artist
in
stall.
The morning? Like we came out and it was maybe like mid-morning? Because
Kind
we
of.
ate the food, we went with Saguaro, and then we're still here, so it's still early-ish morning, getting closer towards noon, and then we spent fucking forever
Looking at the animals.
looking at animals.
Well, and it's doesn't
Honestly,
even...
though, a mood.
doesn't
Sometimes
even,
when I've been window shopping like that, I'm just like, I don't know what happened to like 12 hours of my life, but there we
But
go.
today I went and looked at shops, and suddenly it was nighttime.
Of course, that would probably be me with fossils, because I just sit there going, ooh.
Yes, that one. Or
Yeah.
just really cool rocks. This is my rock collection. It has 5,000 pieces. Oh, shit.
The thing is like, rocks are okay. It depends on the kind of rocks. I'm always torn. Okay, so my mom, so everybody knows, loves rocks.
Mhm.
She's always loved rocks. And I've always been annoyed by her rock love. Because the thing is that she took it out on us.
Yes.
And I mean, me and my older brothers.
Uh-huh.
Whenever we would go anywhere, and that includes my dad as well. Like, so all of us would be like, and now we're gonna go look at rocks because of mom.
Uh-huh.
And I just never really liked rocks that much, necessarily. Like, there's something about, like...
And yet, dragon obsidian. I mean, rainbow obsidian.
The rainbow obsidian was fucking
If
amazing.
I
But the thing is like...
was the geologist who was discovering rainbow obsidian, I would have called it dragon obsidian. Excuse you.
Yes.
That would have it looks like pieces of dragons. I don't care. This is a thing that I just discovered like 4 days ago exists. And I'm like, why is that not dragon obsidian? Excuse me.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's really cool.
Yeah. But I did always look at, like, fossils with my dad, because, you know... Dinosaurs, and dinosaurs are fucking cool, and like fucking dinosaurs. Oh my god, fucking
and my friend
dinosaurs!
here is watching actually the new dinosaur show.
Yeah, the prehistoric planet. I was just like, ah!
Fluffy dinosaur!
What? because honestly, I appreciate the improved and better, more accurate science, and because that was a big reason why I don't really watch Jurassic Park anymore. One, I didn't really care about big monster fights in that way with dinosaurs.
We wanted to make our dinosaurs into kaiju, but we already have kaiju.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch a kaiju movie then, because dinosaurs were real animals, and it gets weird when you're like, unless basically you have unless I guess they do the thing that apparently they've been doing in Jurassic World, or the Jurassic series overall, is basically just modifying them more genetically to have other traits of other things that makes them,
more like kaiju?
More like kaiju?
Walks
and I'm
into
just watch a kaiju movie!
Walks into Jurassic Park. Oh, I see you've made some kaiju.
Everybody, what? No, this is a Velociraptor Stegosaurus.
Kaiju?
Kaiju?
Gesundheit.
I see that you gave it a fancy name, but that does not stop it from being a kaiju.
Actually, lots of kaiju have fancy names. Good job.
Right, good job. I'm very proud.
Good. Okay. No, I'm just like, I don't even know what time of day it is. It hasn't said anything, but to prepare a feast and pile your platters high, and we're going to make a ton of different foods for you, that takes more than a few minutes. That takes hours.
Okay, so I always appreciate it in a movie. You're like, here, come have a party. And you're like, and 12 hours later, if not a full day later, because sometimes you go, slow roasted meat, slow roasted this. I'm also just like, this is still baffling because they had no water.
They had no water. Shouldn't they all be starving? Because water is what makes the food? All the animals are laying around, but do they have water? Are they all sickly? Are you having animals? I need to know.
I mean, were they pulling a... so fun fact that you might not know.
Okay.
But the Maasai tribe in Africa, they actually will drink the blood of their cows when they do not have enough water.
Oh, I didn't think it was when they didn't have enough water. I thought it was actually just part of their diet.
As far as I know, it's like a thing they will also do. Like they don't just drink their milk; they'll drink their blood.
Yes,
and I thought that was like
blood and milk together, even.
No, I know that, but I'm just like that. I like the only other thing I can think of is going, well, your animals are all tired because you've been drinking from them too.
Maybe, but they also wouldn't that kill them after a while if you're giving them no water?
Yeah, no, I know.
Anyway, come pile your platter high.
Ah! Yes.
Do you really like feasts, Asra?
This is news to me.
Exactly. I don't know about this.
I thought you didn't like people.
But I like lots of food.
Feasts come with people.
You do. Do you like food that much? I've not gotten the impression you like food that much either. We make our way to a fire pit in the ground because nobody wants to stay cool in this desert at all. They just want hot food and hot fires and hot sun.
I mean, like, hot fire, okay, fine. You can't escape it because cook fire and all that. But also, I'm like, you know that usually you take the food away from the fire?
Actually,
because that's where you cook the food?
Well,
that's not where you stay?
I've known there are several cultures that live in very hot places that will have big flat rocks that just absorb the sun, and you just dry things out on there. Yeah. So you don't have to light fires. You just use the heat of the sun to cook things.
So what I did at one point, actually I've never done this, but I've heard also of people being like, it's so fucking hot. I cooked an egg on the concrete.
That one. I've seen that before.
And then I ate it and it was good.
I'll say...
Or I cooked an egg on my car.
I say I wouldn't tend to believe concrete as much because it has so much texture. It'd be hard to get the egg off of it. Plus, there's usually a lot of grit, so you'd be like crumb cheese.
It's more like
has rocks.
Car.
Yeah, more like on the hood of your car kind of thing. But yes, cars have been that hot. I have been burned on cars in California, like ow, like actual like red horrible burns. You touch it and you pull away and you go, that was a bad time.
That was the ow.
That is a pan now that is frying things. Okay,
including my flesh.
To a fire pit.
Fleshy.
The moderate crowd parts for us. Asra seems embarrassed and less excited about the food now, I guess.
Well, great. I can't wait to eat it alone under that aloe tree.
Specify
food,
to
yes,
everyone.
People.
No.
Also, though, everyone, hey, have this party with us, him. I cannot wait to fucking get away from you all.
I'm going to
Everybody.
specify. Walks up. Thank you so much for the food. I'm very excited to rest by myself after that magical feat. Bye! And everyone goes, oh, he accepted the food. He need rest after that big magical feat. You know what? Good job.
Big magic feat. Why do I feel like...
Okay, so the only thing is
I remember that being a white person stereotype for days. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I swear to God, I've just seen movies where they're like, here's all the white colonizers who have come to save the day, the white saviors, and they're all like, I'm really tired now. Could you fucking leave me alone with my food over in a corner? And everybody else is like, sure, I don't take that as an insult. And I'm like,
Why would
you should punch them in the eye socket.
Yeah. Also, I'm just like, I was wondering about the damn beetles and the fact that, like, none of the crowd reacted to them at all, especially with how reactive crowds have been in the other two routes. Mm-hmm. Like, really reactive. Sometimes screaming about things that just make me go, you know.
What?
But, like, I wonder very much if, since Kohai thinks that Asra was wondering if it was an illusion, I wonder if all the townsfolk genuinely just think, hey, that's how you make a well work again. You make you drag a cloud of red beetles up out of the ground, and that produces water.
Right.
Like, that's what the spell is. It's a spell where you use magic beetles to pull water up from the ground, even. Like, that would be... I would wonder as a bystander what you thought was going on.
Me too.
Yes, very interested. As well as what you would pass down as a story of what happened that day. Mm-hmm. Be very interested in
that. The moral of this story is use red beetles. If you don't use red beetles, it's not good water.
Right, and if you're going to learn to summon the water from the ground, you start with pulling red beetles out of the earth.
Okay.
And so then people are trying to parse this spell themselves and teach themselves what it is. And
since in this world, our
magic is a skill and is teachable and can be parsed out as a science.
Mm-hmm. Smells great. Can't wait to eat it alone under that tree. That aloe tree. Goodbye.
He gathers 4 grilled cactus from the fire pit and weaves through the townsfolk to find a more private spot. Is that the only food? And if it is, maybe they made this feast pretty fast because they're only eating one thing. Or maybe he only eats one thing?
I mean, like, eating cactus is fine.
It is, but like...
It's very edible.
Doesn't
also, like, cactus
usually have
fruit?
More than one food?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a feast of cactus slabs. When I step up to the fire, Saguaro heaps food onto my plate with a sparkling smile.
And here's another slab of cactus, and here's another slab of cactus.
Because he feels way more comfortable with me than with Asra, and because I didn't announce that I wanted to be alone, I think. And also because Asra said that I was in charge, and that their fate depended on me. So...
Friendly.
Indeed. Yes, hey, Kohai, once everybody's fed, we're going to break out a couple of instruments. Do you dance like your companion? I feasted with Asra before. He can dance all night. I was right. They've had a fling. That is what happened last time Asra did magic. He had a time.
I'm also just like, hang on. So it is, if Asra doesn't remember this, I'm also just like, I don't understand. The way people talk about Asra, my whole brain is blowing. Like, I don't understand.
Asra
people are like, everybody, Asra is amazing and a party animal and blah, blah, blah. And then we spend all this time with it, and I'm like, you are a bastard. You are an interesting bastard. Like, you are mean to Julian, you are manipulative, you're a shit.
You're dismissive of people.
You're dismissive, you don't care about other people's feelings, you're very controlling.
You're theatrical, but in a sort of aggressive and, like, controlling kind of way. I will have all the cards.
So what I'm hearing is Asra is fun-loving and soft to woo, but what I'm seeing is Asra's a prick.
Asra's actually pretty intense and self-serving and likes to play with other people emotionally and intellectually and is very into his own stuff and doesn't actually think about or connect to much people. He's so introverted and self-involved and or self-sufficient, both a bit much all the way around, that he doesn't even remember a lot of encounters with people because they weren't meaningful to him. It's like someone running into a room.
Unless he literally just forgot this one, because he does also say, again, he doesn't have those memories, which makes me curious, but I'm more annoyed still, because I'm like, my dude, so why don't you, like everyone else, fucking tell us how much you remember then? If that was a plot point, why does no one ever talk about this thing our whole lives are obsessed with, which is strange for people who don't remember anything, but going, I've forgotten something, I need to remember it.
Question something, sort of, immediately. If Asra has lost a whole chunk of memories via, let's not spoil too much, does he have the exact same amount of memories as Kohai? Did he have to start over as well?
I don't know. That is one answer that they have never given us, even for the other two routes.
We
have, like I said, we have no information as to how much information anyone actually has or doesn't have, because they never want to actually talk about it on screen, or even really make a casual mention of what they have talked about off screen.
All we could really tell with Nadia was that she remembered the moment she arrived at the Vesuvian castle.
So before she lost her memory, and then there's this big gap.
And then she doesn't remember any of her time being married to Lucio, living there, any of it at all, period.
Except that she says then later on going,
Some of it's coming back.
Some of it's coming back, but she was never specific.
But then she wakes up without having remembered any of her marriage to him, any of her rule, any of her time living in the castle. She only remembers walking up to the bridge for the very first time in history. So unless they were married before she walked up to that bridge, she's got nothing. And then she has to remember their relationship slowly, and it was all shit. But mostly I think she gets it all from Portia going, oh my God!
Yeah, and I have no idea. Anyway, I have no idea.
Anyway, it's okay. He can dance all night.
All night.
He can? I had no idea. He's never danced with me before. Okay. This is a discrepancy between routes because the MC and the other two routes we have played is specifically, Asra taught me how to dance. So in this one, he specifically did not teach you how to dance. Why?
That is weird.
Especially if he dances. Like, in the other two, it is used specifically, and you respond to a request to dance with, well, Astra has taught me some dancing. And in here, you have no idea, and he's never danced with me, so he's never taught you how to dance.
That is weird.
I cast a glance at him, way over there, under the tree. Ask Astra to dance with you. Sit in the corner with Astra. Honestly,
do you think Kohai would... Okay, do you think Kohai would be perceptive or receptive to the idea at all that people are going, we're going to bring out instruments, and since you're our guests, we would like you to have a good time? Like, does Kohai, again, get that sort of social experience or awareness?
I did not pick up that Kohai was connecting to at all, that this would be an invitation for the two of you to dance. In any way. I was gonna say it was a basically what Asra dances, not it was the hey, we're gonna bring out instruments. Do you dance like your the other wizard does? And Kohai's mind in my own was just like, wait, Asra dances, and they forgot everything else that was said.
So could it then be one of those situations where you go, wait a minute, Asra can dance. Will you dance with me, or would it be what I get from Kohai is very much Asra can dance, and we've never done, and he's never told me or shown me or taught me any dance at all. I want to go sit with him and talk about it. Except I want to talk
about dancing.
That is not what that's going to be.
Of course not. And also, Kohai knows he wouldn't answer a question like that because he never does. So it really would be but the only thing I come up with Kohai is going, I would either ask him, do you dance, not to dance, or go, so last time you were here, you danced? And neither of those is, so I think Kohai's going to have an existential moment and go sit with Asra at a corner.
Okay.
Because that sounds way more like I've just been overloaded with this information, and I don't know how to react to it. Yeah, because the thing is I'm like, it is important to sometimes go for a character that has been as isolated as they have been by Asra. And is largely connected mostly to Asra and has not had a lot of social. Again, Kohai has explained explicitly that most of the people in their exposure to people all act strange around them and distant, except like the pumpkin bread seller, and most recently, Nadia. Yeah. And so they've never been close to anyone but Asra. They've never had a friend group. They've never had a wide social group. They've never been in group activities. They've never had just a friend, even as far as we can tell. Yeah. And so, this would not be wow, we should dance and party, because Kohai's never been a part of a party ever, as far as I can tell. Okay. And so, it would be sit in the corner with Asra. I go and sit next to Asra. His gaze is soft, and after a minute of silence, he blinks back from his trance state. 1, I didn't know he was in that, but 2, this also sounds like him. So, do you dance? Kohai stares at you, blinks blankly, and turns around and walks away with a plate full of food. It's one of those things, like happens in anime. You've overloaded them so much they don't even respond to you at all. Asra dance. And just loading. Kohai.exe has stopped working. Okay. In his trance state.
Kohai? Ghost was just whispering snake secrets in my ear.
I think those are probably the only kinds of secrets she knows.
No, it's a euphemism.
You were flirting with Faust? Different kind of euphemism.
Asra. Damn it. This doesn't work in the same way. Why does this not work in the same way?
Because euphemism means like you are flirting but not saying it directly, right? I've only ever used euphemism about flirting, not about just words not meaning the same thing, like being used in place of other words. Damn it. In your ear, huh?
Amazing! Nadia's wondering about us at the palace. It seems to Portia. So what the fuck does that mean to us? Okay.
Faust reports. So I saw Nadia talking to Portia
about you.
I wonder where those guys are.
Like,
okay.
This is deeply nonsensical. I understand if it's gonna turn into something like Asra going, ooh, they're flirting. But, like, this is stupid sounding to me. Like, if you genuinely have no idea what's going on, you have no connection to these other characters, you go, okay, and?
And? Why is this information important? Of any and everything you could tell me.
This handmaiden, the person that I trust the most, my head servant, blah, 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 all of these things. Okay. So yeah, why wouldn't she be
She would talk to her about almost everything, I would imagine, actually. And so that's not remarkable. What I guess the only thing is remarkable is Faust going, tee, she's looking for you and you are gone.
I guess. Let's find out if Asra has any other
That's all I get.
Because I don't get it either. Do you know a Portia?
You mean the Portia that was afraid that the snake would eat the birds? And
who was actually
chased Faust through the entire palace? Who you saw when you came to pick me up with Nadia? Who also was very concerned about the snake and didn't know who it was?
My fucking god. Does Portia know who or what Faust is?
Nope.
Have you ever introduced Portia to Faust? So why would Faust go to Portia? Does Faust actually know Portia's name?
Because Faust can read Portia's mind, but also Nadia says people's names constantly.
No, I know that, but I'm like, has Faust put it together? I'm having an intelligence question, basically, here, going, how much does this creature perceive that this is a person and not a title? For example, Portia, come here. It could be Porter.
Servant, come here.
Exactly. Yes. They were talking to a servant.
Matron, come here.
They were talking to matron. Like, that's what I mean. I'm having an intelligence and, like, class kind of question, education question.
Are named courtiers.
Like...
Yeah, no,
how good is Faust's context skills? What does Faust actually know about human society and how human society works? Especially if we're going to say that Asra is a complete fucking recluse. So hearing this, Asra hates people. So what does Faust know?
Nope, Faust loves people, I guess.
I guess?
Faust does seem to like people, and I'm also just like, so... Did we explain about Faust at all to Portia? No, we were whisked away immediately. Only, she doesn't like birds. What? She? Huh? And then stuff happened.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I got.
Who knows? Okay, whatever.
Do you know Portia? You should too?
I think? I don't know.
I know Portia.
Anyway, I don't know why she was telling me about that. Doesn't sound urgent. She must be lonely.
He also doesn't know why this information was reported. Faust was like, I need to talk to Asra because I need to see him. This is what I've just seen most recently. And storytelling reasons, it is because they are setting something up for the reader to experience later.
And the only thing I have is going, we are setting up a ship. Yep. And, like, that's it. And I'm actually kind of annoyed about it. Instead of, like, really... What if it's stated like that? It's just weird.
It just sounds like I'm confiding this thing in this person that I wouldn't tell anyone else about. So therefore, they are very close to me.
Yeah, anyway, I'm fine.
Lonely.
And now I will immediately switch topics. Did you get enough to eat?
You were very dismissive of Faust's experience, I guess. Magically speaking to your snake in a meditative state.
Who decided that this thing and that she might, even if she is lonely, that's actually really mean. Asra going, oh well, I guess she's just fucking lonely, ha ha ha. I'm like, that's awful.
That sounds like him, very dismissive of other people's ideas.
But it's terrible.
It also sounds like he's extremely different in Faust in that way. Like, they have really different priorities from each other, despite supposedly being connected. It really does sound like she's like, I like people, and I like being petted.
I like exploring.
I like asking people questions. I like scooting on people. I like scritches. I like social environments. I like to climb around and see stuff. I like to talk. And he's like, I'd rather be over there alone.
Okay, so this might be a case of a person who is treating their magical animal companion poorly.
It does seem like that, yes. And the magical animal companion is absolutely and utterly forgiving in all ways, no matter what.
Regrets.
Correct.
Anyway, enough to eat?
No, I haven't eaten anything. My plate is stacked to the heavens. I can't believe how much our host piled upon it. I can't believe that I didn't have any of it slip off or fall off the side while walking over here to you.
High skill. High level of balance skill.
Actually, I think it was a stacking skill. It's put together so well that even someone who was uneven with it would not drop things because...
Well, I guess that's true, because...
It is an attractive tower of food. Almost like it's been plated up like it was supposed to be served this way. Like you could carry it out for a banquet like this.
So you better eat it very carefully from the top down.
Like a serving platter now. Right.
I can help you with that if you want.
Didn't you like your cactus?
I only got 4.
Did you eat any of them? Looks down, there's one bite taken out of one piece of cactus.
I'll help you eat it.
You're very bad
Asra?
Asra, do you know you're bad at eating?
You're a bird.
Num.
Yum. Done.
Polishing off his own food. Oh, he did it. He ate it all.
Oh, good.
He ate all 4 pieces.
Except he just finished it. I'll help you eat that. Sexily, like a snake, cracks his jaw, unhinges, and then slides the plate back out. It's completely clean. I'll help you with that.
I could help you with your food. Nay, you forgot you had food, didn't you? Until just now.
I can still eat it.
I believe you. I do always
Do you not believe me? Pop.
Puts it back. Puts jaw back together. Right. I see you have more affinity with the snake than I had realized. I am learning all kinds of things.
Wow.
Well, polishing off his own food and licking the plate clean, I see. Astra slides over to sit closer to me as music fills the smoky twilight air. So was I sitting? Yeah, because I went over to sit with him.
Next to the
how
tree.
How close did I sit to him? I don't even know. It also looked like it's getting really dark out here, but nobody has mentioned
Tomorrow,
this evening or nighttime.
Yeetson head. Boing!
Ciara, poink! Thank you a million times again, wizards! I have forgotten both of your names already. I am most delighted that you hung around. I know you're eating alone, but since you are together, you're not alone anymore.
Well, I am most delighted with this food. It wasn't any trouble, so you've done well. You paid me enough. Like, that's what... Like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, read this in a different context. It's not Asra. Somebody goes to someone else going, I'm so glad you stayed around. I'm really grateful that, like...
You helped us.
You helped us, blah, blah, blah. And they go, well, I am most delighted with this food. It wasn't any trouble, Saguaro. That is a, you passed my bar for payment.
Or that's patronizing. Oh, I love this food. It's so nice. Thanks.
I'm not kidding. I'm stunned as to how many other levels that Astra sounds like manipulative shit. Anyway, keep going.
Also, it wasn't any trouble. I know your life was on the line, and I played around with you saying that, Kohai was in charge, and then, it kind of got intense there for a moment, but no trouble at all. We don't even care. This wasn't even work for us.
Also, I want to speak for Kohai. Beetles were a surprise. You're actually
That wasn't part of the spell?
Holy shit, Asra's going to mention it.
Going to talk about the experience, really? Why?
He hasn't talked about, almost anything else.
Nope. He must
what the fuck?
Must be really important to the plot if he's mentioning it.
Oh god, it must be.
Yeah. For the first time since the spring returned, our host's smile drops. I bet he saw the beetles too? Beetles! I was hoping I could tell you. Tell you what? What?
Oh, there's something going on. There's a plot. Hang on.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. Years ago, but after you came and danced the night away, I guess, some Vesuvians came through town, stayed a couple of days, they kept offering us protection in exchange for a third of the cactus crop. We declined, and sometime in the night, they say some kind of giant red beetle descended on the town. Came out of nowhere. I wasn't there, of course, for any of this at all, because they say. And the Vesuvians offered to take care of it in exchange for 2/3 of the cactus crop, because what we grow out here is cactus. We don't, not cattle or, rugged goats or anything other thing
else. We don't hunt.
We don't hunt, we don't gather, we don't lizards or bugs or we don't dyes.
We also don't have potentially specific actual plants that we've set up in particular circles so that they actually hold their water
better.
Yeah, better, so that we can actually eat them
and harvest the water.
So one of the big things here that's bugging me now more about that is based on my studies of indigenous Americans, especially ones that lived in the desert. If you had, quote, cities, you tended to have more crops.
People planted things.
They did.
And they planted things that were appropriate and could grow in the area.
And they would, like, you know, do irrigation, and they would do various different things, and sometimes what would happen would be, they would leave and they would go to other places when stuff was bad, so they'd go back to more of a foraging lifestyle, but they would always supplement, basically, their crops with foraging/hunting. So the fact that, all you, quote, grow is cactus?
Also, cactus grow is pretty slow.
That too, and that's why my brain's kind of going, maybe this is a really different kind of cactus or world. Obviously, it's supposed to be made up, but this is kind of hurting my brain.
That's wild. Additionally, one of the things that I know that's cool about indigenous cultures that had both stationary and
so, like the
moving
Navajo
lifestyles,
and the Ute,
I was going to say, is that you had stationary places
Mm-hmm.
that you would only be in during seasons when it was appropriate to be there.
Yeah.
And then they would be empty when you were moving around in other seasons where there were different resources.
Yeah.
And one of the things about white people is they're like, I want all things that I need at all times to be right here wherever I choose to live.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of, again, indigenous cultures never did that. Like, all over the world, there is seasonal traveling and moving and going. You have the way that rich people like to go, well, we have our summer home and we have our winter home and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's very, very natural if you're hunting and gathering. And, you move with the seasons to what's available now in different places. And
it's actually rather unnatural to do the thing that we're basically doing now.
Sit here and have everything shipped in.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about more like when we're trying to grow everything in some cases, like that is also around us. That's actually one of the problems also why, at least in the United States, that they've talked about, which I appreciate that there's been a lot of voices towards that, was like, they were going, hi, the indigenous peoples of Native America, like the entire country, the whole span,
all
used to do like specific types of burning in order to clear areas, because the areas didn't just clear themselves.
They did forestry.
They did their own type of forestry. They did agriculture. They were very involved with what was going on. And the reason we've had such bad fires in the U.S. is because we
don't do that.
We won't do controlled burning.
And we
also stopped basically the indigenous people from doing it for several, like a couple hundred years maybe?
Ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, and 2/3 of the cactus crop, it was Count Lucio who took it on. When he struck the killing blow, it just turned into 1,000,000 little ones, and they burrowed into the ground. Count called it a day.
So they've been starving for 3 years.
He didn't say this was 3 years
ago. He said
a
few years ago. So on average,
3 to 5 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm like,
but
I'm saying, so when you died and everybody seems to have forgotten all their memories and everything went to poop,
it was before that.
3 years ago.
It had to be before that, because it was when Count Lucio was outside of the castle.
No, I know that, and I'm also like, so we did this, and so we're saying that also, but Asra came in and made the fountain, so somehow they came...
So again, this happened...
Asra, though, then came back almost 7 years ago, or 8 years ago?
This timeline is bonkers. Without any timeline, what I've got is a placement of Asra came to this town at one point, and Saguaro was there, probably very young. I would say, and they had a water problem, and he fixed it. Then he went away, and they made a huge impression on Saguaro only because no one else was looking for him, or recognized him, or talked to him. Even if they all went, wizard, I guess, we will make a feast. So Saguaro is the only one he impacted strongly. Then, as some time after that, appeared Lucio, and Saguaro was not there for it as far as he's describing, because he's describing it as a thing that was told to him. This happened over there. And that this beetle incident occurred, and it dissolved and went into the ground.
It sounds like basically it was Lucio with all the courtiers.
And then Saguaro was privy to this story because he lives there. And then as the water started going away, which happened after the beetle, sometime it happened slowly over time, then he started looking for Asra on a regular basis.
Right.
That's the timeline I've got. It's just like little points with people on it.
This is tiring.
And if we know that Lucio died 3 years ago, it all happened more than 3 years ago. So, and the Count called it a day.
And the spring has been dry ever since. For that long? Wait, what?
I didn't describe the spring being dry. I said it's been drying out slowly over years. I said our water is almost gone when I came and found you. Remember? We're running out of water, not it's gone and has been gone for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years.
Oh my god, my head hurts. Anyway, we're gonna have to deal with this headache in the next one.
Oh god, we're gonna have to find out if, in fact, 1, Asra wasn't listening closely, and 2, Saguaro corrects him, and 3, if they've actually had 0 water at all the entire fucking time, and have been, like,
taking stuff to a very distant town to trade for water and never leaving this space and somehow surviving there for 3+ years with no water of any kind.
My whole head hurts.
And because it doesn't say only collecting rainwater, it's no water. But cactus drink rainwater, they do. It only rains a couple of times in the desert, but it rains for a few
This is what I said.
when
This
it does.
is a wildly magical, out the butt, basically.
It's okay.
Desert fantasy
Basically,
world.
when you are dying of thirst, you can keep dying of thirst forever. It never ends.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everybody is... Oh, that would be a spoiler. Never mind.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Everybody is dead.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Hey, if you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Please interact with the video. It actually does a lot for us in regards to YouTube algorithm. So really just clicking the like button. Very, just poking your screen.
Also, I have been scanning through our videos, and a lot of you have been hitting the like button, and I appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much.
It's so helpful. Thank you.
It is.
Also, please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi, our Patreon, and our Twitch.
Yep.
And we would love to see you there, honestly. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And
It was great playing with you.
Bye.